Amy. Welcome to Doki Doki Forest. I'm so glad you are here. Now today we are going to find out what happens when you take some spring digitals that I picked out, which you can see here on these 4 pages, and spring digitals that Care picks out, which I will show in a minute, and combine them together in a hashtag we call using the same images. These are Care's pages here. So separately, she put together 4 pages of images that she liked for spring, and I put together 4 images that I liked, and we put them up on our Patreon pages. So you can go over there, you can head over to mine, head over to Care's, download all of these images, print them out, and play along with us. And our hashtag using the same images is an open collab. Anyone can jump in, and you can print these out, play with them, come up with some pages, and then we can all compare and see how did we do. Did any of us create pages that are the same or similar? Are they all completely different? It's just a really cool experiment because it's fun to see what we come up with, even if we all start with the same images. And in our last round, we had some friends playing along, and this round we do as well. We've had Coralie from Magic by the Ocean, Kristina from Kristina's Shack, Sylvia over at Sylvia D. I'll put links for everybody down below. So here we go. Let's get into it. This is my Seasons glue book. This is where I've been doing all of these using the same images challenges. And I say challenges in quotes because it's fun. It's a little challenging, but in a good way, in a way that stretches your imagination. And I can't help but wonder as I work on these pages what everyone else will create and if anything will be the same. Now, sometimes some of our images seem to kind of naturally go together if they have the same theming. So I'm thinking that there may be a few pages that are similar just because the theme. But we'll see. I haven't watched anyone else's video. I know Kristina posted a video and Sylvia posted a video using these spring digitals. And I cannot wait to see what they have done. I'm so curious. And then, of course, Care's posting her video along with me when I post this one. So I have not seen that, of course, yet either. So I am really excited to check them out and just see what everyone's up to. So here is the loose story that goes with this page. It is spring and Mother Nature seen here looking gorgeous. And this is an artist's interpretation of her look from Fantasia 2000, the Disney animated movie. She's waking up and she's like, oh, it's spring. We got to get this party going. We got to get this spring thing going. And this little sheep is bounding over. This little baby lamb says, oh, I'll help. I'll spread the word. And she's like, okay. And I just love how Mother Nature's hair is just like, earth hair, don't care. So she is ready to go. She's like, let's get these flowers blooming. Let's get everything kicking off. And I decided to trim some of these flower images because I like the rounded shapes at the top. And then I did the same thing with that image of Mother Nature, just making it sort of rounded at the top. I didn't fussy cut as many things as I often like to do when I'm doing like glue book work and stuff, because these images, I felt like I wanted to keep them mostly their original size because I like to cover up the whole page. So if I trim everything and fussy cut everything, then I don't know if I'll be able to fill up the page the way that I want to. So I'm sort of just trimming some things to give them a rounded edge so it's not all sharp corners. And but I still have some rectangles and some squares in there as well. But the little lamb looks perfect in that field of flowers. I just love how the little lamb is so happy. It looks like he's dancing or, you know, just spreading the word, and spring is here, spring is here. And then the flowers, I love that word spring in the flowers. I think that's really cool. And of course, those robin eggs in the nest are gorgeous. I love finding the little shells like that on the ground. They're so beautiful. Got a little bike basket there, or a little bike with maybe some lavender in the basket. And I have these strips here, and these are the pieces that are like the back of the digital print, so like the background. And they're just little strips for the most part, but they're perfect for situations like this, when I just have a little space that I want to cover. And what I'm doing here is gluing them at the bottom, these images at the bottom. And I'm not gluing the top yet because I have to make sure I glue things in order. For example, I want Mother Nature to be sort of tucked into those flowers a little bit. So I don't want to glue them down at the top yet. Also, I apologize. There is some roof work going on at the house next door. So you may hear a tap, tap, tapping in the background. So I just want to let you know that's not you, it's me. We do have some roofers working over there today. And that is, I think that flower that flower image I just glued there on the left, I think that was the bottom maybe of the one here where the lamb is dancing. And I always save anything I trim off because chances are I'm going to use it. Like by the time I was done doing all of these pages, the only thing left were just scraps, really. And then, you know, some of the little strips. And also, Care had one page. She had a bonus 5th page that was all like Boston Terriers at Easter. And she said that one was optional. And it had some bunnies on it too. And it was super cute. I did use one of the Boston Terriers from that page, and I used some of the bunnies and some of the background. There was like some sprinkles and stuff in the background. So I did use some of it, but I didn't use the whole thing. She loves Boston Terriers, so I'm really curious. I'm thinking she probably used all of them. So I'll have to see. But that was a creator's choice. You know, you could use them all or some or none and whatever you want to do. But all the other images, the idea is that we would use them all. So the original 4 pages that I made and that Care made, we want to use all of those images. Even if we trim them, we just still want to include them. So Mother Nature wants to kick off the spring party with some rain. You know, she knows we're going to need some rain to get these flowers really blooming. And so she wakes up one of the flower fairies who's going to help her get these flowers to blossom, to sprout up from the earth, to wake up, to know that it's time. The weather is going to get a little bit warmer. The frogs are coming out from their sleep over the winter. They're waking up. They've got the spring songs ready to go. Those spring peepers are getting out there. I've been hearing some spring peepers at night, and it's just so funny how noisy the night is now. And I love it. So I'm driving around at night, and anytime I drive by water or near water, you can just hear those spring peepers. The chorus is going. I put the windows down, of course, so I can hear it. Love it. So the rain is falling, the frogs are awake, the flower fairy is very busy helping Mother Nature, and we have this image of, I love those big old raindrops, those water drops on the flower petals. And then I had this image of, I believe, oh yeah, that was the hydrangea, so there was some raindrops on the hydrangea. And then I'm just trying to figure out where I should put this arm so that I can still fit the frog. So I'm just going to trim the top off of that image a little bit. And I love that arm, feeling the rain. So the animal world is noticing the changes in nature. The humans are also noticing the change. And then again, I'm just going to use a little leftover piece here and just kind of connect those images together. And it wasn't quite long enough to go all the way down to the bottom of the image with the hand in the rain. So I'm going to have to find something else and cover that up, just because that's what I like to do. I always say that because I don't want anyone else to think that's the way you have to do it. Of course it's not. It's just how I like to do it. And that's part of the fun of this whole thing is, you can find your own style. You don't have to do it like anybody else does it. And it's really cool to have your own way of doing things. So it's fun to see how different people glue. So I just took a little bit of the top of that image that I had trimmed with the hand in the rain, and I just used that to fill in the little spaces that I had there. And then we have to add the cute little mushroom folk crossing the bridge. Like, how cute is that? And none of this is my artwork. I just want to say that these images are for personal use only. They were created by all different artists and they're all gorgeous. This is just my personal glue book, so I'm going to pop them in there. But I liked how they sort of brought those two images together. So now the rain is letting up a little bit. So we have this girl, she's on the bridge and she's feeling the rain as well. It's kind of cool that like I had an image of somebody feeling the rain and Care had an image of someone feeling the rain. So very similar vibe there. We both had some rainy day sort of themes. And then I thought these little animals, they could be out enjoying the rain. I don't think it's actually raining in that image, but they're like in a puddle or a little stream there or brook. And they're just enjoying being out in nature. So they're out and about. And, when you have the rain and then the sun comes out, oftentimes you can go out and you will see a rainbow. So that's what's happening here. The rain is stopping. The sun is coming out. And another fairy has appeared, creating beautiful rainbows in the sky for anyone who looks up and stops looking at their phone. People are always just walking around with their heads down now, right? They're like looking at their phones all the time, and I think they miss a lot of good stuff out there in nature. So don't forget to look up in case there's a rainbow that you might be missing sometime. So I'm just building all of the edges because in the center we are going to put our beautiful iridescent rainbow fairy. And she is bringing all of the colors into the world, beauty wherever you look. And so the little girl on the bridge is looking up and the fairy is looking down and they're looking at each other. And then again, I just wanted to cover up some of these little spots where there would be the notebook page peeking through. So I'm just using bits and pieces from other images that I either trimmed or it was like the little strips from the page. And then I figure, if I have another image later on that can cover up this space, then that's fine too. But for now, I think of these as like placeholders. Like I'm going to put these here for now so that way the page, there's like a complete background on the page. And then later on, if I find another picture of a rainbow or a flower or something like that, I can always go ahead and just glue that down over it. So we've got beautiful skies now, beautiful rainbow, and a lovely fairy. And then I found one more image. So just like I was just saying, sometimes you find another image. I found this image that Care had included. It's an umbrella with tulips growing in it. And I thought, well, that would go perfect on this page. And so I'm just going to add that. I almost was going to make the fairy kind of like holding it, almost like it was her Mary Poppins bag, but instead she had this like magical umbrella that bloomed flowers. But I wound up just putting it next to her because I didn't want to cover up the whole image of the fairy. So I think it is still her magical umbrella. Then we have a beautiful day. So this is like the next day. We have a beautiful dawn. And the flowers have bloomed now. They had the rain. They had the sun. They had a rainbow. Everything's getting warmer. So the flowers are beautiful. So what can we do? Mother Nature says, you know what? I think we should have a party to celebrate. We should have like a tea party, a garden party. So she calls upon her party fairy. And the fairy's like, oh, I got you. I know what to do. And she is going to throw this super fun spring tea party outside for everyone to attend. And she encourages everyone to wear as many flowers as you can. Wear some leaves or stems or moss or anything that helps you celebrate this beautiful new season. And come on over, find a place at the picnic blanket, and there is a place for everyone. Have some tea, have some snacks, and let's talk about spring. Let's enjoy the beautiful weather. If you want to go stomp through some muddy puddles, Freddie, I know you do. Go ahead. Go run through the puddles. Sophia will join you. And then come on back to the tea party. So this is our party fairy. We have these gorgeous flowers blooming, and I wanted to make sure that she's kind of centered on there. I love all the purple. And then there's this other image with more flowers blooming at the bottom. And I wanted her to look like she's just sitting among the flowers. She's having a great time. She's our hostess. She's welcoming everyone in. She's making sure everybody has their tea. Here it is. We've got some tea and snacks right now. And I'm just going to fussy cut the top of this image. I don't want to fussy cut the whole thing out because I want it to fit in that spot there that needs something. But I can fussy cut the top where it kind of connects with that other image. And then I have a few other smallish images that I want to make sure I get on the page like this. Look at the real life Peter Rabbit and Jemima Puddle Duck. So cute. I fussy cut them out and I'm going to pop them over here. There's a picnic basket over there. And then there's this picnic basket with these two little friends inside. We'll get the tea kettle and cups and snacks all glued down. Got to make sure everyone has what they need. And then this little fairy is a helper too. As the party goes, she can turn on the little lights, the little fairy lights inside of all of the flowers, so it looks like this beautiful twinkling garden party with lights strung all around, but the lights are actually just the flowers. And then I'm just adding one more little flower there. There was just a little spot, and I almost forgot about this little bunny. I was going to include the entire image, but I couldn't really get it to blend the way I wanted to. So I fussy cut just the little bunny out, and it's her little buddy that hangs out up in her hat and helps her prepare the snacks for everybody. Now don't worry about the math that's there. That'll be covered up real quick on this next page. This is my son's old math composition book from years ago that he didn't want and was recycling. And I thought, perfect, can turn it into a glue book. So I have a few glue books going that are actually previous composition books from my boys. What better way to repurpose than to cover them up with some beautiful images? So this page, we have some outdoor fun happening, perhaps an Easter egg hunt, and then there is a beautiful path there on the left with the beautiful pink sky. So I thought, well, this would be really nice to have a little bike go for a bike ride down the path. Maybe you're going to the market to get some fresh flowers, which you've now just added to your little bike baskets. And now that you have these beautiful flowers, you can either bring them home and plant them in a garden, or you could leave them in your bike for a little decoration. And here is a little hedgehog that is just the right size for riding this bike. So this little hedgie is going down that beautiful path. Maybe they're going to collect some eggs along the way too. And then we have these words. It says, in the spring, at the end of the day, you should smell like dirt. Because you've been outside. Maybe you've been gardening, either a vegetable garden or a flower garden. And this puppy is out gardening. Look how helpful they are. And that looks like my Sophia. Sophia is half Jack Russell and half Chihuahua. So she's got more of a Chihuahua face than this pup, but it's super cute. And I was excited that Care included a Sophia-ish sort of pup. And little ducks, of course. Had to cut them out and stick them in that little pool of water. I think I have to have ducks in like every glue book. And now for our last page, we have some different things happening. I'm thinking that this is after all the partying and you've maybe been out gardening. You had a beautiful spring day. You went to a lovely garden party with the fairies. And then perhaps you went for a bike ride. You were gardening. My gosh, you must be exhausted. But you have to do some spring cleaning now. So you wanted to get your home refreshed, but maybe you went to bed. This could be the next day. And this little image of the frog, now they're cleaning their abode. And so you are inspired as well because, the warm weather, it's sunny, you feel motivated, and you want to get your house all cleaned up. And then there are some Easter images. So even though Easter has come and gone, it was so early this year, we still want to include it in the digital kit here. So I'm going to put some bunnies and eggs over here. And we have this little Boston Terrier with the bunny ears on at the bottom, and they look pooped. So I'm thinking after all this spring, like, go, 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 and let's do this and let's do that. The terrier's like, oh my gosh, are we done with this stuff yet? Like, I just kind of want to go and have a nap in the sun. I don't want to do like spring cleaning and running around, and we've been busy. Maybe this little Boston was out with the Sophia pup and they were out gardening, and they were probably running through the muddy puddles too. And, they're just tired. They're looking at us now like, okay, is it snuggle time yet? Meanwhile, the bunny's up shopping. The bunny is enjoying going to the farmer's market and loading up their cart. They're thinking about all of the fresh produce that's available now, or maybe they're dreaming of what they're going to plant in their garden this year. We have a little joke here. Why did the Easter bunny cross the road? Because the chicken had his eggs. And then I just fussy cut out those little spring cleaning nozzles and bottles sort of things because there were two images like that. And I thought, it would look kind of cool to combine them. But then I wound up putting it with the rubber gloves that were hanging. But I was trying to make sure the nozzles weren't pointing at anybody. So when I was doing the glue book, at first I had them at one point. They were like pointing to the frog. And I was like, well, I don't like that. I don't know. It was like I didn't want them to spray on the frog, even though it's just images. And then the same thing, I had them up next to the bunny, and I was like, well, I don't want to spray the bunny. So anyway, they found their home right there, and it worked out well. And then the spring vibes I hadn't used. This is one of the things I had at the end. So I just like kind of fussy cut that, and it looks perfect, I think, on that rainy day page. Some chocolate bunnies. I'm just gluing all over this page. It's like the end, when you have a couple of images, and then there were these bunny peeps. So I just liked how when I put them down there, they kind of blended those images together and kind of covered up the seam. Then I just went around, and if I had any strips left or small pieces, I just kind of went through and put those in any areas where I felt like there was some composition book showing through, or I just wanted the images to blend a little better, or felt like they just needed a little something else. So in some cases, I'm just taking the little strips and I'm just adding it like where two images go together. And I feel like sometimes when you add a little strip in there, it just kind of helps it all blend. And I like that. So we'll add one up here, and it also adds another little pop of color. And then we'll add another one down here. And then what else am I going to do? I don't know. Oh, another little piece. I'm going to try to get this down. I really did try to use pretty much everything. I was only left with this stuff at the end. Just a couple little scraps. So here we go. Here are the pages that I created. And I had such a good time. I really loved all of the colors. And I had a good time blending the different styles together because, Care and I look for different things when we're searching for images, and some things that we look at may be similar or kind of the same, but a lot of things are different. So it's really fun to try to blend everything together and perhaps come up with a story if one pops up, and if not, it's just fun to make pages, especially like these really colorful spring pages, just so vibrant, and I loved working with all of these. Let me know if you are going to download these and use them in a glue book or whatever you would like to do. It doesn't have to be anything that you post anywhere. It can be just for you, but let me know. I would just love to know if you're playing along. If you do post it somewhere, let me know that too, and let Care know so that way we can check it out, because we would love, love, love to see it. And in the meantime, I think I will head out and enjoy a nice sunny day today. I hope that you can get outside today and enjoy it if it's nice where you are, or stay cozy if it's cold. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Always love having you here. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again soon.